Hey y'all, it's Amanda. Welcome back to my channel, and this is going to be the Count My Blessings book tag. Alright y'all, so I was tagged by my lovely friend Jeanette over at Jane Reads. If you're not following her, please go subscribe to her channel. I will leave it down below. She is so kind and just genuine, and love watching her videos and her reviews, and she just really blessed me in that video. She was just so kind, and I just really appreciate her in this community, and I want to make sure that you all know about her channel because she has a lot of great reviews on Christian fiction books as well. So yeah, make sure you check her out, and thank you, girl, for tagging me. I really appreciate it because she knew your girl needed a video, so I'm here. It's been crazy, as I said in my last video, and guess what? She gave me a little tag video, so thank you so much, sister. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this, because what a perfect video for Thanksgiving, okay? All right, first question is, I wrote them out because I didn't have another screen, so I had to write them down. Count them one. Wait, what am I saying? Question number 1 is, count them one by one. Boy, did that sound extra southern. Count them one by one. Go ahead and try to count. So try to count all your books. Well, I did that, and then I got lost. So we're just gonna say I did count last year, and it was like over 600 books. I have all 3 of these shelves. I did get this little shelf right here. You'll see a little spin shelf. Okay, bookshelf tour coming. But I still gotta organize them. They are way out of order. I want to really try to organize them for that bookshelf tour, because y'all gonna be like, Amanda, why is that book there? But anyway, okay. Then I've got several strolled throughout the house. Well, reader don't. And then I've got one in my closet that was one of my old shelves when I first started my channel. Little short black shelf that has manga and other things randomly on there. Little golden books, all that stuff. So yeah, about 600, over 600, something like that. And question number 2, life-changing books. What are some books that changed you or profoundly impacted you in a positive way? Y'all ready for this? All right, so there are so many books I could say for this, but I just picked a handful. Book lover, I made a fashion, but I picked 4. And one of them I'm currently reading, and I know it's going to end up being one that profoundly changed my life because it already has. Now, this is Christian nonfiction and Christian fiction books that have changed my life. I will say the Bible, yes. Just like Jeanette said, the Bible, 100% yes. Always going to be number 1 answer. But for Christian fiction and Christian nonfiction, Joy in Christ's Presence by Spurgeon. Let me just say, I talked a lot about this in my last video. It's truly impacted me in such a way, just from the first 6 or 7 chapters. I want to say 7 chapters so far. And it's made me think about my relationship with Jesus, where I want to be right there with him, how he's always there. This book is just, it's truly blessing me right now in this season that I'm in. So yeah, definitely that one. And then the fiction books, okay? I've got 2 biblical fiction and 1 historical romance. And When the Day Comes by Gabrielle Meyer. This book, I talk a lot about this book throughout the year, and this is the one that really helped me just see that I didn't need my Outlander books anymore, and that there are good, clean reads that can have time travel and all the things that we love, good romance. And it's a book that I read during a time that I was really contemplating where I wanted to be with my reading, how I changed as a reader this year. This book truly just completely transformed my reading this year, I guess is the way I should say it. I have a full discussion coming on how I changed as a reader for Vlogmas that Amy over the Protagonist Pub recommended that I do. I think she's going to do that video as well, so that will be coming. I've already filmed it. I think it's day 4, okay? So yeah, it's ready to go, y'all. It might be day 3. I can't remember. It's coming. But yeah, this I talk a lot about that in that video, but yeah, I think you all have been around. If you've been around for any amount of time, you know that I've changed a lot as a reader of the year, and this book was one that just helped me in that regard, I guess we'll say. So if you don't know what this is, it's a time travel romance, dual timeline. This girl pretty much wakes up every other day in different time. I think she's in the 1700s and then the 1900s. And so her name's Libby, and she has to decide when she turns 21 what time she's going to stay in. And it's a wild ride. So I love this so much. So good. I have got Iscariot by Tosca Lee. This book made me think about Judas in a way that I never thought about before. I talked a lot about it recently. I will leave the videos down below if you want to check that out. But it's such a great character story on Judas, and you know, how have I been a Judas in my life, in my sin, and things that I did. It just really makes you think about your own self, how we're really not that different than he was. And the only things that really separate us from Judas is the blood of Jesus and repentance. And that's all I'll say. It was just such a great biblical fiction about Judas, and I just really appreciated it more than anything. So yeah, I highly recommend this. It impacted me. It impacted me in such a way that I will never forget it. So, and then A Voice in the Wind by Francine Rivers. Read this, and it's one I could reread. Really, this and An Echo in the Darkness, book 1 and 2. Just, they wrecked me. Some of my first biblical fictions I'd ever read, and truly amazing and just very impactful, and makes you stop and think about your own faith and your own faith walk and forgiveness, forgiving those that you don't want to forgive. Like, so much in this. So it's very heavy in content, because you know Francine, she got the content, she got the biblical content. I mean, look at the Bible. It's very similar. This book also transformed my reading, because I'd never read anything like this. I'd read Redeeming Love before, but there's something about this one that just, I don't know, maybe because it's so recent in my mind, it just blew my mind. It made me really think and stop and think about forgiveness, and am I really a truly forgiving person? And I was convicted in many moments of this myself. Truly amazing. There's a lot more books that, like, I think, you see I got the Tolkien books right here. Those also have impacted me in such a way I can't even explain. So yeah, but we're gonna keep going. That's for another answer, right? So, number 3, special editions. Here we go. What are some book editions and copies that you really love? Like first editions, signed, cloth bound, hardback, or for just sentimental reasons? One thing I'll say is I do have this Bible. I won't show you like everything on it, but it has my name on the front. My grandmother gave me this. My dad's mom, we called her Nanny. Just loved her so much, but she died when I was 20, or I think, yeah, 20. And you know, I didn't appreciate this when she gave me this, and I definitely do now. And it just makes me think how much I wish I could tell her today how much I appreciated her giving me this Bible. It's a King James version, and it was just engraved with my name on it. And I remember getting this when I was really little, and I never appreciated it like I should. And because I fell out of my faith and came back to the Lord when I was 25, and yeah, definitely one for sentimental reasons. Okay, don't cry. All right. And then as far as like other editions, for the Rings, honey, these are my favorites. I got these off Pango, and I just love these editions. They're from like the 90s, I think 95, 98 or something like this. So yeah, don't drop them. They're not in the greatest condition, but we got The Hobbit, and of course, Return of the King is book 3. I'm just not going out of order. Two Towers and Fellowship. I just love the covers of these. I love the way they feel. They're like that floppy paperback a little bit. So really like those. And then I've got some signed books. I do have 4 books that I really appreciate having in my collection, and they have just special meanings behind them. First one is Iscariot by Tosca Lee, and there's a special meaning behind this because she actually saw my review for the Long March Home by her and Marcus Brotherton, and she sent me an email and just was thanking me and asked if there's any other books that I was really wanting to read by her, and I was like, yes, Iscariot, because it's been on my wish list for a long time. A lot of people have told me that it's a great book, and I knew I would love it. And so she said she would send it to me, and I ended up, of course, loving it. You already knew. And it was signed, and I really appreciated her for doing that. And I'll show you here. And so it just has Amanda, thank you, and she signed it. So I really appreciated that so much. I need to send her an email saying thank you for doing that with like everything about the book, because I truly love that book. You all know it's just really impacted me, like, so just like I said. So the other book I have that's signed is Turn to Me by Becky Wade, and I really like this because you could buy her book signed on there, but she had sent like a little note as well, and I really like that. I thought that was really like nice that she would send that just with any of the orders that you do, and it just said thank you for ordering Turn to Me from my site. I had a ball pairing Luke with Finley, and I hope their story steals your heart the way it did mine. Blessings. And so I got this last year when I ordered from her site. like in May or something, I want to say, around my birthday. And it just said, for Amanda, may mercy, peace, and love be yours in abundance. Jude 1-2. So, really liked that. And love that book. Of course, you already know I've raved about the Misty River series. Speaking of Becky Wade, then this one has a special meaning behind it because I actually was on her launch team for this, and I just really appreciated this because she wrote, for Amanda, thanks for sharing the love of books, the love of books on YouTube. Rejoice in hope, Romans 12:12. So yeah, I really appreciated that. I really enjoyed that book as well. And then Authentically Izzy, you know, this book was like one of my favorites of last year, and so I had just done a whole video dedicated to this book. I'll link it below if you haven't seen it. It's one of my favorite videos I did last year because I did a lot of like just aesthetic pieces for Lord of the Rings, like our merch, pictures from our wedding. The transitions were something I worked hard on, and the music and all of that stuff. And just how much I love this book. It spoke to me. It was like one of my favorite books. It was an Amanda book, right? And so Pepper was so kind to send this, and it almost like started that spark of my love for her books and just her as a person. I just love her as a person as well. And I said before that if there's any author that I just really relate to, it's her. You know, I feel like she's a kindred spirit. And so that's what she wrote in this book. You are a kindred spirit. Thank you so much for your encouragement, Love Pepper. And when I got this, it meant the world to me, honestly. So those are my favorite signed books that I'll tell you. I do have a lot of books that have book plates, but I don't want to show those just because like those come from pre-orders and things like that, or launch teams and other things like that as well. So the other two books that are classics that I love to have in my collection is this Little Women edition. I actually have the whole box set of these type of books, the Puffin and Bloom collection, but I love this cover. It's one of my favorite covers, the spine, the whole thing. It's so cute. Love it. And then Anne of Green Gables by Ellen Montgomery. I got this for like $3 or $4 at a used bookstore, and it's published in 2004, and it has some really nice like illustrations and things in here, you know. So yeah, just when I reread it, this is the one I'll read. So yeah, really like that. Number 4 is gifted books. Books you love that others have gifted to you. So I've been gifted several books over the years, and I just really appreciate each and every one of you for thinking of me. If you've ever sent me a book, thank you so, so much. I know I'm behind in reading a lot of them, but I really am appreciative of that. But I picked 2 just for this video, and that is Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb. My girl Christy gifted this to me early on in our friendship, and I think it just really connected us. We were so much alike in so many different ways, and our friendship has blossomed since then. Really appreciated this from her, and I ended up really enjoying this book. I still need to continue on. I'm sorry, girl. It had to be in the by and by, but as you say, but she loves me still. She knows. She always tells me, honey, take your time with Fitz, but I will get there at some point. 2024 is maybe the year. We'll see. But I really enjoyed reading Fitz's introduction, and I need to know. So the next book was My Hope Next Door by Tammy O'Gray. I got this from my friend Caitlin over at Pride and Paperback, and I ended up loving this book. I was so glad that I read this. It was an emotional roller coaster, but Tammy O'Gray brings it. She has just the best Christian romance, and I love this. I love it so much. So yeah, so faith-filled. It was great. And Asher is a dream, let me just say. So yeah, those are 2 that were gifted to me that I absolutely loved. And then we've got question number 5. The blessing of a book. How has reading benefited you in your life, emotionally, mentally, spiritually? All right, let's talk about this for just a minute. Just a minute. This question is almost a loaded question for me, but as a mom of a child with special needs, my son is autistic, and I spent a lot of time just trying to like find myself again after becoming a mom. I think a lot of us go through that, and I'm still trying to figure that out sometimes, but you know, you lose a lot of yourself, okay, when you become a mom, and then to throw the special needs aspect on top of it, things have just been crazy, right? This YouTube, this community, reading, all of these things have become what I would say an outlet for me. And just the friendships, this prayer circle, all of you all, the relationships, the reading the books, the audiobooks, all of the things have helped me figure out who I am again, what I enjoy doing, finding myself, and just all the things that I love to do have come full circle, right? and I can find enjoyment in those things and not feel guilty about it most days. Sometimes there is that mom guilt of the things like, am I just doing things I like to do more than spending time with my family? That has happened, but everyone needs a hobby. Everyone needs to try to keep some part of themselves, especially as a mom. And when you throw special needs, like I said, into the wheelhouse of that, you feel sometimes so alone and you don't know what to do. And I don't have a lot of friends or, locally. And this has just been such a blessing for me, the books, the community, the channel, all of the stuff. So as far as how has reading benefited my life, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, all of those things. And emotionally and mentally is definitely finding myself again in the things I enjoy and not, just being able to have that hobby again. Also in my marriage, it's helped because, Blake would play his games and then I'd be left over here like, what am I going to do? I don't really have a big hobby that I was loving to do. And now, like, instead of arguing about him playing the game, I could at least feel like I can be reading my books, and it's okay to have that time alone, they're doing things that you enjoy doing and then coming back together at times as well. So sometimes we do need that time alone and to enjoy what we like to do. And that has helped my marriage tremendously, is me finding a hobby that I truly enjoy and finding something I enjoy doing to like fill my time, and then spiritually, it's definitely grown my relationship with the Lord because of all of the great Christian books here. I've definitely felt convicted at times. I've changed a lot as a reader, as I already said. And, the Lord's really taught me a lot in this process of making a channel and reading these books and, making sure that books don't become an idol at all, and that I still find time to spend time with Him. And I'm still learning all of that about, balancing time with the Lord and Bible reading with things that I enjoy doing, whether that's, reading, watching, making YouTube content, whatever, and just trying to balance all that time. That's just true honesty. And, I feel like spiritually I continue to grow in faith, and in my reading has just helped me tremendously. Reading good Christian nonfiction that ties back into me reading the Word, all of that stuff. So, long answer for a short question. It's been great for me. It's also a great escape. A lot of people say that, if I'm going through a hard time, yeah, it's a great escape, but it also reminds me of just the goodness of God, of all the good Christian books that I've read and how I can relate to a lot of the characters and things like that at times. It's just been great all around. Question number 6, friends, the greatest blessing. Do you have any in real life friends that love to talk books with you? Most people in my real life do not read, but there's one girl I work with that has watched some of my videos and does read and has read some of the books I've recommended. So it's always nice to chat with her about some books as well. But for the most part, most people, they don't read, and if they do, they don't read what I read, right? They read mostly secular books, and that's okay. So we don't have a lot in common on what we read if they are reading books, but sometimes I can talk about books with other people as well, find some common ground, but for the most part, no. The biggest blessing as far as talking books with people has been with you guys in the comments, Instagram messages, Telegram messages and chats. All of that stuff has just been the biggest blessing most of all. Buddy reads, all of that stuff has just been amazing. Getting to know a lot of you all personally and just forming those relationships and those bonds and meeting some friends that I have, those friendships that I have made. I got to meet Alicia and Amy in the last year, and it was just a blessing, truly, to be able to see those ladies, and hopefully I can meet more of my friends that I've met online. But just like creating and cultivating those relationships has been the best. With so many people has been the best, and I'm just so thankful for that. So yeah. The last question is to tag people. Now, I haven't been tagging people lately, but I'm gonna tag a couple people. Dia from Novel Idea and T from Faith Books Coffee. So I'll leave their channels down below, and I will also tag any of y'all who need a video to do, because I needed a video to do, and I was so glad that somebody tagged me. Jeanette tagged me, hey girl. And so I'm gonna say, look, if you need a video, here, do this. The questions will be in the description box below. I hope that y'all are doing well. I'm so glad I had this video to do. I love you guys so much. Let me know any of the answers to these questions down below in the comments, or we'll just chat about anything as usual. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all at my next video. Bye, y'all.